Hello, my name is Alex Aungst, CHS class of 2019. The date of this recording here is Sunday, March 15th, 2026, at around noon Eastern. This interview is being recorded online via Discord at our respective homes. And Kim, if you would like to do the honors of your stating your name, your class year, the years that you played a role in the band, and what role you play, that would be appreciated.
My name is Kim Cornelius. I was Kim Delvin in school. I was class of 1997. I was in band from 1993 to 1993 to 1996 seasons. I was in color guard in high school.
You said 93 to 96, is that right?
I I get I get thrown off. I feel like it should be 4 years because I was in all 4 years, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, because 93, 94 would be 2 years.
yeah,
Yeah, that always throws me off when I try to, recollect like what
right.
when I play as well. Uh, so you would have started in 93. What got you interested in first joining the band?
Well, I'd always intended to be in the band. Um, just when I thought I was joining band, I thought I was going to be in percussion because eighth grade year, the summer before eighth grade year, Shafe had uh, given me some private lessons and taught me on percussion. I'd originally been clarinet, and I went to keyboard, and then Shafe taught me percussion, and I was going to be doing percussion. But my best friend at the time begged and pleaded with me to do color guard with her, and I let her talk me into color guard, so I did color guard instead. So and I enjoyed it, and I stuck with that. So I almost did drumline, but I ended up in color guard.
And was Schaefer like mad or anything? Was he like, did he try to like say?
He was pretty perturbed with me that I betrayed him and did some kind of ditzy color guard instead of being in his drum line. Yes. He was a little irritated with me, but he got over it, and I did color guard all 4 years. I stuck with it.
What was the learning curve like for you, like getting into color guard, like twirling and stuff?
Um, it was a huge learning curve, especially because I had broken my arm at the end of eighth grade. So I learned to do flags with a cast on. Um, and I marched in my first parade the day I got my cast off. So that was an interesting experience, but um, I did it. I did it pretty well, I think. Um, I was dedicated and I worked hard, even at a time when I didn't think I was going to keep up with it because my dad passed away the summer before my senior year, and I kind of went into like a little mental spiral. But Shafe and Barry called me on the first day of practice, and Barry was trying to be a little more diplomatic to see if I was even coming, and Shafe was in the background, chimed in and said, "Get your ass out of bed, get to practice, you're late." And I got my ass out of bed and got to practice. So Shafe knew what I needed to hear to kind of snap me out of that situation in my life, and band kind of uh, helped me get through that little grieving process at the time. So uh, it was very meaningful to me at that point in my life. So
That's cool to hear. Do you remember Jack Shaffer
yeah.
being that direct and personal with his students?
Oh, absolutely. He absolutely was very direct and personal. All the time. He was very blunt. He did things with humor, but, I always kind of looked at it as tough love in a way, his way. But he did pull me aside after that first practice and have kind of a little heart to heart with me. So he could be very caring and things like that at the same time too. So, he checked in on me and made sure I was okay at the same time. So he wasn't just heartless or anything like that, but he knew that I kind of needed the kick in the pants to get my butt in gear. Like he knew I needed that to kind of get the ball rolling in a way. He was a good guy. He was a great guy.
When you first joined, what did the band kind of look like? Like the composition, like the size of it? What did it seem like to you? Like when you first joined?
I think it was a pretty decent size. Oh gosh, I can't remember exactly how many of us there was. Oh, that was many years ago. I know that Barry Mellott was the drill instructor, and I want to say maybe 40 to 50 band kids. We were a pretty decent sized group at the time.
Who was the do you know whoever was your whether section leader or whoever was like helping to command your section at the time?
The captain of the color guard was Dana Dotson, I think was her last name. She graduated the year before me, and then my senior year, Wendy Richardson and I were co-captains. The drum major, the first 2 years I was in was Trisha Yingling, and then Jason Link was the last 2 years. I think some of the biggest competitions we did were usually Giant Stadium and the ACC championships at Scranton. And one year we did get to march in a Thanksgiving Day parade at Epcot Center, which was pretty cool. So that was a fun time.
And what do you remember the most of those like competitions?
Just kind of the camaraderie that we all had, not just between ourselves, but the other schools. And there was one competition we always went to, and there was a school called Shikellamy or something. So it was funny every time they announced this, everybody kind of said it, and then other competitions we'd go to, we'd yell Shikellamy. So that was kind of like an inside joke that we had. The times on the band bus, Jay Warmouth always had really good music that he would play. So we kind of dance on the band bus and have a good time. And
You mean like you like have like a radio or something on the bus and you'd
he brought a radio on the bus and tons of CDs or cassette tapes. I don't remember which because of the time of time of the he had a big collection of Adam Sandler's greatest hits.
oh man.
And Won't There It Is. Those were the go-tos. But we had a really good time. All the time. Those were like the fun parts. I mean, it was just, and the adrenaline rush that you got from being on the field, doing the competition and scoring. And we were usually in the top three most of the time. And one season, we had a winning season. We were in first place from our first competition every time until ACC championships. Then we got second, which was devastating. But, winning always feels nice. But, I think it was just the fun we had together as a group. was the best part.
Drum majors that you talked about at the time, Jason Link and you said Trisha Yingling, I think.
I think that was her last name. I know it's Lingenfelter now. I'm not great with names.
Do you have any memories like pertain particularly to them, like of how they led the band and who they related to and how they were?
I know that Trisha liked to joke around a lot. She was a really sweet girl, and she was friends with Lori Ruggles, and they were just really sweet people and stuff like that. And Jason was very serious when he was up there. He had, a poker face and stuff like that. He was really into it. He did a great job. He led us really well both seasons. So, um, I was really proud of him and, what he did. And it was, it felt really nice to be up there on the field with him when we were doing the award ceremonies and things like that. So
Who would represent them, the school at the when you get the awards? Like, would it just be the drum majors or?
Usually you would have the drum major, and like for the color guard, the captains would go up there, and usually a senior they would usually pick somebody from one or two of the lines or something like that, but they'd kind of rotate us around.
Did the drum major uniform did it like stay more or less the same during your years, or did they sometimes switch
No,
that?
it changed. When Trisha was in there, they really tried to get her to match the color guard uniforms. Um, when Jason was in there, they really tried to make the drum majors match like the theme each season. Like, we always had a overall theme for our program. So I know our senior year was like a kind of like a westerny pilgrimy little house on the prairie type theme, and he kind of had like a westerner cowboy type look. And then the year before that he had kind of like a tux or something. It was what was it?
It's on the page somewhere. We listed
uh
the shows.
I'm like, oh, it's hard to remember the name of the themes 30 something years later. But
Yeah,
yeah, they really changed each year, but they tried to get us to all be like matchy.
yeah,
Because you want to have that, it looks good for the judges, you want to be aesthetically pleasing, and even like the band uniform, sometimes you added a little bling blang into it a little bit to add a little pizzazz.
yeah. Just to add on to, I think '95 was Music of the Masters, and I think '96
Okay, yes.
was
I was like, it was something masters, but I couldn't remember what the first word was escaping me.
yeah, and I think '96 was Billy the Kid and Copeland.
Yeah, I think my freshman year we had some kind of Americana theme. Um, and we had like a little jacket with a cape, and the cape had like American flag lining or something, and don't remember what the name of the theme was for that either, but Trisha had like a similar outfit to the color guard and stuff. So
So wait, would the color guard outfits also change each year?
yes, color guard outfits changed each year. We did repeat. I think my sophomore and senior year, we reused the outfits, or the outfits we had for winter guard one year we reused my senior year.
So that's something that's probably different from uh more current the current marching band. I don't know if the color guard there's a completely different like ensemble of guard that's like a winter
Right.
guard. It's just just color
I
guard.
think I think in past years they had a uniform and they kind of reused it all the time, but when I was in, re we changed redid outfits each year. I think Joanne Kennedy, the Kennedy's mom, and some of the other moms sewed a lot of our outfits for the color guard. Like they handmade our outfits, so that's why it was feasible.
So the
It was cost effective.
band parents actually
We did
did
not
help with that, the making of the
made
uniforms.
they made our outfits. We did not buy outfits. We bought material, and it was made by band parents. Oh yes, band parents did a lot of stuff for us. The Kennedys and the Welling parents really helped us out a lot. They were very active in the competitions and doing things for us. Some other parents too. I'm trying to remember who else was with us all the time. And then there were, of course, some past band members that helped out a lot. Dave Horetsky and Rob Smay. They helped a lot for most of the time I was in. They really helped set up and do things a lot. They're like our roadies.
Were they also set up on the field as well? The band parents, would they also help with that?
Yeah, they helped a lot with setting up. In some years, color guard, like we had not really color guard, but we had some like backdrops and sets and stuff like that. They helped get that stuff set up or put our flags out where we needed, like, because we had flag changes and things like that. The younger Kennedy siblings helped with that. So we were all like a big family, really. It felt like. So, the band parents and the younger siblings and the past, the band alumni and stuff like that. So it was, we all got really close and stuff like that because we all worked together all the time. So,
Do you have any memories about like practices or you know preparing for shows or parades or competitions? How were those? How were those like?
I think the one that stands out the most is when I first started. Like I said, I learned how to do. Um, I learned how to twirl the flag with my cast on. So, um, they thought it was crazy, but I have a lot of great memories with Dawn Malott. She always made things fun. She was our guard director the whole time I was in. I think she did that for a long time. The practices, a lot of sweat over the summer, a lot of practices. I know that my best friend's little sister came one time and she thought Shafe was Jesus and he thought that was hilarious. Um, that's one of my favorites. Just, we all worked really hard and, things get frustrating and, Shafe really worked us hard because, he believed in all of us. He knew what we could do. And it was always one more time and then one more time again.
Because the first time's lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we covered traveling to these competitions, and you mentioned Giant Stadium as an interesting venue. And when these competitions, ended, when you got those placed, first or second in ACCs, what did you feel were like, the strongest in depth and technique?
I don't know. I always felt like I could do it better. I don't know. I guess I was kind of like Shafe in that regard. Like, even though I knew I did a really good job, I always felt like I could do it better and I could push myself harder and things like that. So, I always kind of critique what I could work on or something like that. But um, it felt good when we got good scores and things like that, but I always felt like there was room for improvement. So that's just my personality.
Is that a feeling he would always encourage after competitions as well? Would he say, to perfect a certain area if you express like some dissatisfaction towards something.
I don't feel like he focused on that per se, but he always, was like always strive to do better. It was like he always pushed us to improve on, what we'd done and things like that.
And when it came time to do these performances, like say football games, these would, like from what I could tell, these would be like the pregame, like performing pregame, right?
Yeah, those were considered an extra practice. That is kind of what he called them. Football games were just an extra practice, like a dress rehearsal for the competitions that we went to. So
He never considered them like the ends to like any practice.
no. No, they were just a dress rehearsal for the competitions because the competitions were the important thing to him and to us. I mean, we enjoyed going to the football games and stuff like that. A lot of us enjoyed that. We had school spirit and things like that, but they were not like the main performance or anything like that. We got to do good for the football game. It was a dress rehearsal for the competitions.
That's a very interesting attitude. That it's definitely different from today, the today's attitude, but
Right.
it's certainly unique, relative to
Right.
how the band functions today. Was there anything any other events that you did in your time with the band besides competitions that may not have been done today?
Aside from the Epcot parade, I don't know. We used to do most of the parades that, were held in Martinsburg and Roaring Spring. I can't think of anything extra offhand. I don't remember going to any festivals during my time. Yeah, just basically like the agricultural parade and like the Memorial Day parades and things like that. Normal things, but, we did just have that one time where we got to go to Epcot, that invite, like we all felt like that was a big deal, like a big deal to us.
Actually, I want to ask about those pictures that you've taken. Who do you know who may have taken those pictures, or if you took those pictures?
One of the pictures, like with the group of us at Disney, was, I'm pretty sure, Lucinda Richardson took. I'm trying to remember what I sent you now. And then the picture of Shaffer that I took in Florida, I think that was we were at Kennedy Space Station. I took that picture. And then the pictures at Giant Stadium, my high school boyfriend's mom took. Her name is Jolene Heminger. She had come to see me perform.
Yeah, and the surface, I think at time it looks kind of like artificial. How did that? I'm wondering how must that have felt.
Yeah, it's weird to do on, turf like that, especially since a lot of the places were performing on real grass and stuff like that, but the artificial turf was odd. It was odd. It's a little different to get used to. A lot of the hashtags and things like that are a little different, because it's like an NFL field as opposed to like a college football field or a high school football field. So you have adjustments and things like that you have to make in your head. So it made a lot of our drill moves and things. You kind of had to adjust that in your mind, but we practiced that a lot ahead of time. So Barry was very diligent about that because he is kind of a perfectionist. Barry Mellott, by the way. Sorry, I call him Barry because I've known him for a long time. I used to go to church with him.
I knew him as Mr. Malott. He just taught in
Yes,
school.
he was also. I went to church with him. He was also my teacher. I guess after I graduated and I continued going to church with him, and he was like, "Call me Barry." And at first it felt weird, but then eventually I just started calling him Barry.
Did you call him Mr. Mellott while you were in band?
Oh yes, I called him Mr. Mellott, and everything while I was in school. But I think over the years, maybe in the last decade or so, I've started just referring to him as Barry. It became it didn't feel weird and creepy at a certain point.
Was he involved? Did he stay? How much longer did he stay involved with band after you left her?
I'm not 100% sure. He's not on Facebook, but his wife Dawn is, and I'm Facebook friends with her. So I know he was at least involved until they dissolved the band, which happened quite some time ago, and I don't even remember what year that was. And then I know they restarted it, and again, I don't know what year that was, because I moved out of state to southern Indiana. Um, and I just kind of follow things from afar, and my mom calls and kind of gossips to me a little bit. Facebook friends with a lot of people I went to school with, so it's like I see things that happen and stuff like that. But I feel like he's stuck in there till the end of the competition band anyway. But the numbers kept dwindling and dwindling and dwindling, and I guess they felt like it wasn't worthwhile to keep it going for a certain point, and then I guess they started getting interest again. So this is my understanding anyway. I could be completely wrong or off base or something, but this is what I heard through the grapevine. You know how rumors start in small towns.
The extent to which I've heard it was they did want a band without Mr. Shaffer involved. Maybe that did affect
Right.
interest at some point. I do not know.
Yeah. I don't know if he was involved after that or not, so I'm not sure.
Well, I do know that my time in band, Mr. Mellott was still teaching, so he may not have.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah.
seem to show any interest in being involved with the marching band. Probably just as a personal preference for
Right.
how it was run and stuff, which is understandable.
Right.
Just want to circle back to football. I know that you played a few tunes in the stands. Do you have any like recollections? I know as a member of the Color Guard, you probably would have. Did you do any routines while the band was playing?
We just kind of did like cheerleading type things as a color guard. The band played during the football. They played songs and things like that during the football games in the stands. I mean, during halftime we did our show, but in the stands they played songs and things throughout. And as the color guard, we just kind of cheerleaded, I guess, in a way. We showed our school spirit and things like that. That's what, like I said, I didn't want to make it sound like we were just there to fill seats or something like that. We were happy to be there. We, definitely cheered on the guys on the field, and I think we had a girl kicker for a while.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I think so. We definitely had a good time at the football games, and some of us got to walk around for a little bit.
Was this during like third quarter? You were
You know,
walking around.
Fourth quarter probably.
You
Uh,
actually walked towards the end of the game.
yeah. I don't know about the band members, but at least the color guard did. Walked around in circle. That's the thing that people did. At least in the 90s, the kids were there and walked around circles around the field. That was like the thing to do, like be seen at the game. So after the game was over, if there was food left over at the concession stand, the band parents gave us food. So those were the football games for us.
Do you have like a memory of? Do you have any memories of a particular?
Do I have memories of a particular football game?
Or I was going to say like memorable like songs or shows that you played during your time, like a particular performance or just performances of songs that you might have played in that were played in the stands that you might have either danced to or.
Oh, we played things like Go Big Red and stuff like that. Like they played a lot of like the little football game short type songs and stuff like that. You're asking my 30-year you're asking for 30-year-old memories to remember the names of all those little things. A lot of the times, we would get in the back and forth thing with the competitors band. We would do the wave and stuff like that. Particular, like a specific game? No, I can't remember for sure anything particular.
Well, do you have a favorite memory, like heading, in band?
Nothing I haven't mentioned yet. I think honestly, I know it sounds probably silly, but my favorite memory is Chafe telling me to get my ass out of bed that I was late for practice. Um, it kind of makes me chuckle a little bit because it's definitely very Chafe, but like I said, it was a kind of a turning point for me at that point in my life, and it really kind of shook me out of a bad dark period. Um, but I have so many great memories, and a lot of them are, definitely up there. But that is the most important memory that I have of my band experience.
For you, what was life like, immediately after marching band, after high school? And how did marching band, impact your life, afterwards?
I think marching band really taught me to be dedicated and to work really hard and gave me a determination in life to do things. And I think that's something I carry with me and have always carried with me. So I've always been like that. So I've always worked hard. I work multiple jobs all the time. I have jobs right now. um, so um, that's what it really taught me, just strive to be my best, to do my best. And um, if if I don't get it the first time, to just keep trying. So, and honestly, to get my ass out of bed and show up.
What are you doing now? You know, all these years now is like,
I'm a mom. I have 4 kids. 2 are adults. I still have a love of music. I've always had a love of music. I don't do anything in music per se, but I, I love music. Like I said, I have 4 jobs. I work at the 2 local school districts, and I work in a women's shelter, and I do a side gig of cleaning a couple nights a week at our local urgent care. So I like to work with kids and help people and things like that. So I think my jobs kind of reflect that a little bit.
I think we've touched all the bases that we could cover here. So if you're fine with it, I think we can end the interview right here on this note.
Okay.
I really enjoyed hearing your experiences. I hope for those that listen later, they'll also have enjoyed this. Um, well, I appreciate you donating your time for this, Kim. I sincerely appreciate it.
Well, thanks for asking me. I appreciate it.